Hello, fellow weebs and otakus, another episode of Anime Fix, where you fix for all things anime. I'm Chase.
I'm Lance.
Hi, Lance.
Hi.
Hey,
Hi.
how you doing? What are you
Oh,
doing?
just in the recording closet.
Yeah, it doesn't look like you have as many soundproof panels up today.
No, not at all. I don't think that.
That's funny.
What are we talking about?
What are we talking about? Give me 1 second. The cat opened my door, and I gotta close it. We're gonna hear my son.
All right. So while we're waiting on Chase, this is like I've been waiting for an anime like this for a very long time. This is fantastic.
What is going on? Are you talking behind my back?
Yeah, I was saying how like this anime is fantastic. I've been waiting a long time.
Have
Uh,
you? You didn't even know about it until I told you, did I?
I've been waiting for something like this for a long time. Like this is fixing an itch that I haven't had satisfied since Attack on Titan.
Oh, really? You think it's gonna be that good?
I think so. Yeah, definitely. I'm
That's gonna be
getting
even
like
better.
attack. Huh?
Bro, that's gonna be even better. It's gonna be even better. Did we already say what it was?
No, I haven't yet. So wait
It
for you.
is it is solo leveling. I've talked about it tons of times in past podcasts. I believe one specifically with Kyle, our friend Kyle. I think yeah, with Chainsaw Man. Me and him were talking about solo leveling because he's read a little bit of it, I think. And then we were comparing the two between them, and then I was just talking it up like I always talk up every kind of anime possible. But in this case, I think Lance is going to appreciate it a lot.
Oh yeah, I was instantly sold within minutes, minutes of the opening scene when you see like I was like at first I was like confused because there was a bunch of people out on a boat,
Yeah,
right? It looked like they were out on a boat and they were like looking over this island and they're like, uh, nothing we can do. We'll have to let the hunters take care of it, right? And then we see like
yeah,
this sort of like small, army of hunters. They're known as they're calling hunters. Extended arms, and there's these giant ants, right? Like
giant red ants.
giant, like just running towards them, and I'm thinking like, oh man, this is gonna be a pretty epic battle, which it was, but not in the way I thought.
Yeah.
Um, like they're like, attack. And then it failed, and they're like, "What do we do?" And the ants are just swarming these guys, and they're just, like, eating
Slaughtering
them
them.
right there, just slaughtering
Slaughter.
them.
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Holy shit, like, this is, like, going on a dark turn quick." And, and then we see, these other 3 hunters jump in, and they go, "Oh, it's the S tiers." And these 3 on their own just wipe out pretty much
A
the entire,
swarm. Yeah, the whole swarm of all the regular red ants. Like the red ants are just like the everyday infantry ants. And then
yeah,
all three of them. Even the healer took out one by himself, and he's just a healer, right? But he's an S tier healer.
yeah,
He's not a fighter,
yeah,
but he healed that guy's like wounds like in an instant, and he was on the brink of death, right? And then
yeah,
all these red ants come in, and then like they're just bodying every red ant. The fire mage is bodying him. The berserker dude's bodying him, and then the white ants, three white ants come up, right? And like they're stronger. They're like the knights of their ants, right? And
yeah,
then it takes a little longer, but they still body him anyways. It's just
yeah,
insane. And then it just shows you
yeah,
I, I like it because it shows you like the difference between like a C, B, A, even an A hunter versus an S hunter. Like how much of a difference there is between S and the other classes.
yeah. And then it gives like this intro into the world, how there's these basically 10 years ago. This is like a 3-year sort of, I would say, prequel to the main events.
Yeah.
But like the overall story, goes back 10 years from present day.
Yep.
There are these portals that have been just appeared out of nowhere
Yep. They call them
that
gates.
gates that lead to these that these magical, creatures, these monsters, magical monsters live in, and they're like these little dungeons. And then when this happens, people wake up with these, are suddenly awake with these special abilities of varying degree of strength, and
Yep.
they class these dungeons based on level. So you got you got your E level, you got your E, D, or whatever. What is it? S, is it pretty much S through E?
Yeah, yeah, S through E. So
Or
S, A, B, C, D, and then E.
E,
E's the
E, E.
lowest.
Yeah, yeah. These and then so like yeah, that's what kind of where we're at right now. And people go in there, and the resources that they get in these dungeons um, are used to like they sell them for like so basically there are companies that are looking to buy them. And I thought this was really cool how they were like the reason why they're so valuable is because it's a seen as an infinite energy source to
Yeah, they're
replace
trying to
like
make it one, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, because
And so like
you can use these mana crystals is what they call them, or magic crystals that the
Mhm.
monsters drop when like, they're the core of the monster, right? Of, like, they drop when you defeat a monster, and
Mhm.
then you use them to make magical weapons, so to get better
Or
magical
gear.
or gear, but they're trying to turn those magic crystals into, electricity and energy sources, so that's why they're so valuable, right?
Mhm.
Um, and then something else that we would mention is when a hunter is awakened, they're stuck at whatever level they awaken at.
Yeah.
They can't move levels. So like if you awaken as an S rank hunter, you just got lucky and you're an S rank hunter. If you awaken as an E rank hunter, like our main character, uh, he's just slightly better than human. Yeah.
Yeah. And so fast forward, so we get introduced. So we finally get introduced to our hero. Oh, this was another distinction that I had to ask you about, and I kind of guessed what it was,
Yeah.
and it led to like the whole gear thing. So like these S rank hunters and like these A and B rank hunters that we see at the beginning, this first battle, like they're wearing this epic sort of looking gear, like capes and like
Yep. They look
body
like
armor and all that
hunters and
stuff.
heroes, you know?
Yeah, hunters and heroes. And then when we fast forward to the present day events, there are people just walking around in hoodies and backpacks. They're like, "Okay, we're
Yeah.
going into a dungeon." Like it was sort of a just this caught me off guard. I was like, "Wait a minute. Where's the fancy gear? This just
Yeah.
somebody on hey, I'm on my lunch break. I'm gonna go do this dungeon here real quick or
Yeah, and they're
something
going
like
into a
that."
D dungeon too, which was, like, just one level above E, but most of the people going into that are D or C rank, right? And then they're
Mhm.
being led by an A rank, or they being led by a B rank? I think they're being led by a B rank, aren't they?
I don't remember. I did catch it, but they're
Yeah.
led by there's a what are they called? Dungeon like, what are they referred to as dungeon masters in the
I
anime? Do
think
you
I think
remember?
the leaders are being referred to as dungeon masters, yeah. The leader of whatever the party's
Alright,
going in.
yeah, or
The
party leader, whatever, but
Yeah, party leader. The healer I know that we meet is a B rank healer. So she's a pretty good healer, but like she really can't save you from, brink of death, kind of like the S tier guy can.
yeah. So, yeah, they go on there, we meet our hero, he's an E rank, and people are making fun of him about how, how weak
I
he
mean
is, and it's like,
he
hey,
looks
he
like an
shows
E
up
rank hunter.
like us. But, like, yeah, if he shows up, then it probably won't be that bad,
Yeah.
you know? And then so they go in there, and we see him struggle, and he's flashing back to all the times he's, nearly died and
Oh
all
yeah,
the
tons of
bruises he
times.
had, tons of time. And then they think they beat this dungeon, and then there's another dungeon. It's a double dungeon.
Yeah, they call
It's
it
a
a double
dungeon
dungeon.
double
Dungeon
dungeon,
within a
yeah.
dungeon. And they take a vote.
And yeah, and they have this vote, and of course our hero's like, "I need the money." So he's like, "Yep, let's go."
He
Right?
was the
He's the
deciding
tiebreaker.
factor. Yeah, he's the tiebreaker.
Um, and you want to you want to talk about the what
Yeah,
happens when they
yeah.
finally get there?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So they They decide to go within the dungeon. Granted, this dude got stabbed by a regular E rank goblin and almost died if it wasn't for the B rank healer. He's bleeding out, and she's like, "No!" and just healing him. And I was like, "If I wasn't here, you'd be dead." And he's like, "I appreciate you," but he decides, you know what? I'll be fine. Okay. So they go
Yeah.
past they think they beat the dungeon, like master or monster, but obviously it doesn't clear because when you beat in this way, once you go into a gate and you go into the dungeon, once you beat the final boss, you clear it and the gate spits you back out automatically. That didn't happen. So they're like, "Oh, there's a double dungeon." So they go in, they go in this long corridor and there's a giant door. I'm talking like 40, 50 feet high, probably more than that, right? And the first thing that should have tipped him off is like, huh, these lower end dungeons don't usually have doors like this.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, I guess you got to go in, right? So they go in, and then you go into this chamber, right? They all go in this chamber, and there's statues. And it's a big circle chamber. There's statues all around, like knight statues, different kind of statues. And in the very middle, looking at them, is this guy or girl. I'm not sure. It's a statue on a throne, looking straight ahead, right? Very ominous. They're like, "There's no monsters here." My head automatically thinks like obviously I've read this, but like thinking like when I was reading it as well as watching it, I was like, probably because those stone figures are probably the monsters. No one's thinking that. These low rank hunters aren't thinking that. And then they're staring around, and then the girl gets scared all of a sudden and tells Sung Woo is like, that statue just looked at me. Like the one sitting on the crown,
Keep
like the
talking.
chair.
I'll be right
Go ahead. The 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 one sitting on the throne is just looked at me, and then like a regular like stone statue is looking at her, and he's just like, you're being over you're overthinking it, you're just scared because like this is really creepy, like nothing's happening. So everyone is just confused and just doesn't really know like what to think of like what's happening and everything. But then the the giant door closes by itself, right? And then that one dude just freaks out and is like, "See, this is why I said we shouldn't go. This is why this is why I didn't want to come with you guys. You guys are gonna get us killed." And he starts go walking back to the door and tries to, open the door, push it back open, everything. And then the statue to his right just comes alive super fast, slams down his axe, cuts him in half while he's still standing there,
back.
and just blood everywhere. Everyone's looking on in horror. Some like, what rank was that dude? He's definitely stronger than me, and he just died in a blink of an eye. We're all gonna die. And then
Yeah.
and then he's just looking back at the statue, and like the way they did it is just like the panel. Like this anime has been panel for panel, right? Of the manga or the manhwa, whatever you want to call it. He's looking back at the statue. Statue's looking back at him. Back at the statue. Statue's not moving. Statue back at him. Last one. Sung Woo look at the statue. The eyes just dart right to him. So freaky. And then he's like, "Get down." And
Yes.
then just a beam of light takes out like half of them, and they're all kneeling down. Um, Granted, I probably should have said that when they come in, they read the stone tablet that has three different things, and it's worship God, praise God, and what's the last one? The last one is
Oh, hold
it's
on. I'm gonna look
worship.
it up.
It's worship God, praise God, and have faith in God. I think it is.
Uh, the Three Commandments. I'm trying to do this without.
Yeah, I'll do it. I'll do it since I don't want to
Yeah,
spoil
yeah.
it. Yeah. Um, Solo leveling, three commandments. All right, let's see. It is the runes. And one is to worship the Lord. Commandment 2 is to praise the Lord, and then commandment 3 is to prove your faith. So those are the 3. So I'm assuming that Sun Jin is like worship, obviously, like he was deducing because he's a really good observer and like he's a really good thinker. He's like worship probably means get on your knees. That's why he said get down, right? So he yelled that out, saved like half the group at least. Everyone's looking up in fear as there's body parts, burned body parts, dismembered, blood everywhere, and like your immediate thoughts like this is gonna be a gory anime.
Yeah. Oh yeah, there is no holding back in any of the, especially in this final fight scene. There is no holding back. Like
I mean, can you
I
call it a fight
was,
scene? A slaughter.
yeah, it was definitely a slaughter. Um, and I think I'm really excited to see because all this time we're set up. Obviously, we know he's the hero.
Yeah,
He's main character. It's called solo leveling. You were talking to me earlier. You're like, it's
yeah.
called solo leveling.
Trying to
I
spoil
get,
anything for you.
but like I already confer that like the name and the character. We're gonna see his sort of like rise from this sort of pathetic, weak state to being like
Yeah,
this badass mofo. Within this universe. I'm super stoked to see that. But um, I was sort of just amazed at how he's so weak, but yet he is like already picked up, and I picked up so many more details than all these more experienced. And I think my thoughts are is that that's why he, even though he's gotten injured so many times, I think that's why he's not just straight up died. Is
exactly.
because of
Yeah,
his ability to like, observe and see what's going on around him and go, okay, I need to like there's something about to happen. I need to dodge, right? He's not full on fighting, but like he's like I need to get out of the way right now. And then people get slaughtered around him, but then he survives
I think
because
that's
he
like
picked.
also a ability of his like near death experiences. Like that's helped him like be more observant because he's so prone to getting hurt. That
Mhm.
is like all those experiences helped him out. Like, all right, always been on the lookout, always like look to see what could happen.
Yeah, I think this is going to be absolutely amazing. Like
It is.
what I like.
How do you think he's gonna get out of it? How do you think he's gonna get out of the situation?
See, I I don't want to speculate because I don't
Speculate.
want to
It's
set.
fun.
I know. I don't want to because I don't want to set myself up. I want it to be like I
You
want
gotta
to
wait a
keep that
week.
sort of.
You gotta wait a whole week until Saturday.
I know, and I'm raring to go. I want to keep it fresh. I want to go in with like no expectations. I want to keep my mind clear. I just want to absorb it. I want to dude. I'm not kidding. Like this is you. This has got like the most exciting thing. I think I said. I don't know if I said on the
Yeah,
podcast right before
I
we
was thinking
started
about
recording,
podcast. Yeah,
but most exciting thing since Attack on Titan.
yeah. That's something for
Like
you to say too.
that first episode of Attack on Titan was amazing, right?
Yeah.
And it went up. So, like, if this can, like, hit that sort of, like, itch, I'm very excited to see where this, universe develops into.
I gotta say, well, I don't want to say, like, it's just not. I don't think it's gonna spoil anything. I just, I gotta say, the world and the world building are magnificent,
Oh,
and
uh,
every character is
I
amazing.
yeah. So there's no, uh there's no "Shut up, Kyle, come back when you're a main character."
Oh yeah, from Sword Art Online. Yeah,
Was
there's
was his name Kyle
uh
or,
Klein. Shut up, Klein.
Clyde?
Yeah, shut
Clyde.
up,
Shut up,
Klein. Come back when you're a main character. um, there's there's no one like that. I don't. I mean, I don't think there really is. There's really no one like that. No.
Hey, just because, he seems to always. What would you say if Brian Papenbrook, is the English voice, actor for our
Sung
main
Woo,
character
Sung Jinwoo.
from some yeah.
Is he Kogami?
No.
Who is he? Oh, is
He
he Kirito?
he He's Kirito, yeah.
Oh, I wouldn't like that. I'd rather it be Kogami.
You why is it because of the constant screaming like, "Yeah!"
Yeah, he doesn't scream often.
Um, I'm just curious because, like, he played, like, he played Kirito, he played Eren Yeager, like, I'm just wondering, and this is another sort of, like,
Yeah,
sort of, main hero, who starts off, one way and ends up, being, like, the most power I'm just
yeah.
wondering if that's, like, his shtick is, I can come in here, I can make this guy
You know what's crazy?
sound
Like,
amazing.
yeah, what's crazy is like since you like these kind of animes so much, I'm surprised that we haven't watched Demon Slayer, My Hero Academia, or even Reincarnated as a Slime because each one of those you would you I you wouldn't feel as hyped as Solo Leveling because the first episode isn't like the first episode of Demon Slayer is like that, and My Hero, but not Slime. But like each one of those have banger fight scenes, like they're constant showing like cliffhangers, you know?
Yeah, I mean, it just we haven't sat down and just watched it. That's the thing. There's always been something newer or
Yeah, exactly. That's the biggest thing.
yeah. So I mean, we'll
So I
get
got
to it eventually. I'm sure we'll definitely at some point cover Demon Slayer.
yeah,
I mean,
because
like that's
because I got into it right when those animes were fresh, so that kinda
yeah.
had a leg up on you.
But I don't think this is amazing. Great first
I
episode.
know.
I'm very excited.
Yeah.
So to watch
What
week to week.
what do you think about all the, other characters they introduced already?
Um. So I'm interested. I want to see those main three S tier. The main three, the first three S tiers. I'd like to see them again. And I want to see if
We saw
because they
one.
seem so one, but like I want to see them more and like you know when you first see them, it's like I'm about to have some fun,
Yeah.
like, and I'm wondering if if they're still got that same sort of excitement later, or if it's more like this is a grueling,
Yeah.
um world that we live in. The guy who runs like the Hunter administration,
Yeah,
he's like, one
Go
piece of
Gun.
advice: be scared. That will
Yeah,
save you from everything. I'm like, I want to know more about him.
bro. He
Um,
so he's a chairman, right?
mm,
Um, so obviously he has to be strong, right?
mm.
Does he look strong?
Oh, yeah, he looks jacked, dude.
What tier do you think he is?
S plus. Is there a tier above S? Don't tell me. We'll get there.
Okay.
Uh, yeah, don't tell me.
I'm not telling you.
But yeah, the guy who's the chairman, the leader of that group, looks totally like a total. He's
He has so many
jacked, but he's
scars
all
on his face too.
has got scars all over his face. But he's like, everyone should be scared, right? Like you should. That will serve you more. That's the best advice I can give you. Be scared. I'm like, bro, you're running this whole group. You're super jacked. I'm pretty sure you're like a badass, and you're just like, I'm afraid. So that's part of the reason why I want to see those other S tiers.
Yeah,
I want to see if they're all still as hyped about going into these dungeons, or if they're like, this is not, great.
yeah,
Um,
yeah. I
correct.
because I finished this manhwa or manga 2 years ago when I was still in my old house, and, like, to finally see it, like, animated and, like, see it on Crunchyroll and watch the first episode, it's like a dream come true, man. Like, it's as long as they do it like they did the first episode, panel for panel, I'm assuming this first season's gonna be 24 episodes. I hope it's not 12 because I need more, but, like, it's
Now,
so good.
you think it's gonna be 20? Do we know for sure it's gonna be 24 straight through episodes, or are they gonna do like 12 and 12, or
I don't know.
11 and 15 or something like that? Or we
Yeah.
don't know. Okay.
I have no idea. I don't even
Right.
know if it's gonna be 24 or 12, you know?
Only reason why I'm glad that the so I'm so I'll say the only reason. I'm super glad that the manga is finished
Yeah, it
because
is.
if this was like an Attack on Titan where, "Oh, we don't have any material yet, so we're just gonna sit on this for 4 years before we release the 2nd season." Like, if that happened with this banger first episode, I would be pissed. I would be so mad.
Yeah.
Because I avoided that from well, for the most part, like, towards the end there, when they were splitting up the final season into, like,
Yeah.
15 parts. Not really 15, it's like 4, but,
Yeah.
I got to
Still,
experience
they're
it, you
milking
know,
it.
milking it. Well, no, I don't think side rant, I don't think they were milking it. I think that they were really taking their time to do it. Like, I initially was thinking, "Oh, yeah, they're milking it," but I was like, as I was watching it, how good it was. Like, it was really good. I think they were really just taking their time to make sure they didn't fuck it up.
That's fair.
Uh, anyway, that's side rant. If they did, I would be so upset if they did that with this. Because
Yeah.
if everything is a banger as this first episode,
I
I
know.
would hate
And I
the
gotta
fact
tell
that
you,
you
man.
waited 2 years
Yeah, every
after
arc,
the
man.
manga.
Every ar
Yeah.
I mean, I went back and reread it a couple times because 'cause it's been so good. Like, like, every arc is great, like, every one of them, man. Every arc. I couldn't be happier with every arc. And, like, yeah, there's so much stuff I wanna talk to you about. I want you to speculate. I really do. I don't know why I want you to, but I wanna see, like, because like, I know everything. I wanna see what is going through your head right now to see, like, what you think is like, how he's gonna get out of it or whatever.
Okay, I'll give you one sp I'll dip my toe in it. I'll dip my toe in
Okay.
it.
Just dip your toe in it, just for a
I
little bit.
I think what he's going to do is he's gonna figure out I'm certain those commandments are probably like some sort of riddle of things that you have to do to like a puzzle you have to solve. He's gonna
Yeah.
figure that out, and and that's how he's gonna get out of it. Now, what the answer to those riddles are, or what he's gonna like, what other like fight scenes are gonna happen, like that they're gonna have to survive. I don't have a clue, and I don't want. But I think what it is it's a riddle. He's gonna solve it, and people are gonna like look at him in a different light because he was the weakest one in there, and he's the reason that they all get out alive. If if any of them get out, if he could be the only one that comes out alive. You know, um, I would be, I think, super cool direction too. Is if he's the only one that comes out, and everyone's like, "Wait a minute, you're the weakest one. How are you the only one that survived?"
Yeah,
Right?
in a double dungeon, right? Yeah.
I think that would be a cool direction. But in some way, he's going to come out of that dungeon, and people are going to have a whatever the turn of events. He saves everyone, or he's the only survivor. He will get a whole new respect, and that was what's going to catapult his solo leveling. Um, that's that's all I'm gonna about it.
Cool. I like where your head's
Okay.
at.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. There's
Um,
not much else to talk about because there wasn't I mean, we've talked about
it was
everything
just
that was
one
shown.
episode, but like it
It's a
was
one
so
episode, 30
good.
minutes.
What I think we spent what over 30 minutes talking about it.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, 100%.
Um, great. Highly recommend.
I recommend.
Question: Do
Are
we
you
want
gonna read
to?
the manga or not?
Sure, but read the manga.
No, are you gonna
For
reread it
sure.
before the episode 2 is gonna come out?
No, I have other manga I have to read first.
I'm gonna go back
So
and reread it.
I have to get caught up. I have to get caught up on Tokyo Revengers. I have to start reading through Chainsaw Man. I haven't done that yet. I
Yeah.
still my others piled up, so I'll get to it though. It's on my list. It will be on my list. Uh for future episodes,
Yeah.
we want to do like a mini like for this as they're coming out, or do we want to wait until it's all finished and then recap everything? I feel like there's so much going to be happening here that maybe we should do like a mini
Yeah.
every so
I think so too, because it's gonna be I know I'm gonna wanna talk to you about it.
okay. Yeah, for sure. Okay. Well, we'll
Alright.
figure something out about how to release, and obviously we'll still be consistent, wink, with
Wink,
our
wink. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Love
with
it.
our other episodes. Um, and maybe this will make up for some of the for some of the months that we just didn't post anything. You
Yeah,
know,
2 a
eventually
week.
we'll average out where we could say, "Oh yeah, we've released one episode a week." It took us, 2 years to average that out, but
Yeah, it'd be like,
or however long.
there's always a big peak in releases when their Soul Leveling Up came out. It's kinda weird. But
Okay, cool. Well,
alrighty.
we'll catch up with the next episode. So,
Yep.
yeah, bye.